This 3-Minute Egg is supported by Form and Content Gallery, where a new exhibition of sculpture, painting, and installation features 9 local artists. Opening reception is Saturday night, 6 to 9 p.m.
Most of my friends can't believe I'm dating a Vietnamese guy.
Yeah, try bringing a woman home to your white adopted parents.
When I thought your parents were these cool radical activists.
A lot of people know Bao Phi as a spoken word artist. He's been a top poet in the Twin Cities for over a decade, but not too many people know about his playwriting. Well, Mu Performing Arts is trying to do something about that. Bao is one of 4 artists that Mu is putting forth through the New Eyes Festival. These are very much works in progress, but for Bao, it continues a thread all the way back to his poetry. It's about Asian American assimilation. We're going to listen into some of this stage greeting talk with Bao, and also the director of Mu Performing Arts about encouraging emerging Asian playwrights on this edition of 3-Minute Egg.
I don't want this to be about money. No, really, man. If you're going to write a book about my life, then I want to do it for the right reason.
Of course, Mr. Chen.
Whose turn is it?
Back when we were young, we were fighting the man, taking it to the streets, shouting out our truth to anyone who would listen.
Nobody.
We printed our own newspapers, we met and read poetry in these ratty little cold places that were falling down on top of us.
It's actually been a very long time since I've tried writing a play. At first I was hesitant, I was a little bit scared, and mostly because, I'm out of my element. I've been focusing on poetry pretty exclusively for the last 10 years. I acted in my partner's play, which actually also came through the same program a couple years ago, but mostly I've been staying away from theater as we know it. So I was a little bit hesitant, but then when I was driving around, the idea for this play just hit me. And I was like, I'm going to try it.
We were all supposed to be...
We were all supposed to be
different.
Or if not different, at least be humble enough to do something about it.
But really, in the end, we're just smart, miserable people rationalizing away how pitiful we really are.
And then you wonder when the fuck it was that love was not enough.
I've actually been working more and more on character-driven poems, and it's been a way for me to kind of comment on Vietnamese and Asian American lives and community through character. In this process, what's great about it is the structure is set up for you to get criticism, so it's good. There's different phases of stage readings where people can come and tell me what works and what didn't. So one example, at the first stage reading, I realized that a lot of this play was way too much in my head. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wrote it and I understood the characters because I wrote them, but I realized that I wasn't really communicating these characters well to an audience.
Don't pretend you're taking his side because of my book. You're letting your feelings about Callie cloud your priorities.
How many times have I asked you not to talk to me like I'm a Jedi?
The Jerome Foundation has funded a program where we commission 4 playwrights, this time 4 playwrights, the first time around it was 7 playwrights, to actually develop initial drafts of work. And then we take a look at those, and it's a bit of our own version of Survivor, in which we then choose of the 4, this time around we're going to choose 2 to continue developing, and then beyond that, theoretically, we'll choose 1 to actually produce. We're commissioning people who are not necessarily playwrights, but they're performance artists or they're spoken word artists, but they have chosen to write pieces that are more play-like in a sense. So I'm interested by that, because we're looking at expanding the field of playwriting.
Or, I have this rally for the queer community and I need a graphic for the flyer. Can you draw something? We can't pay you. But then they would never ask a white expert to do anything for free.